Young, you don't want to take medication. When you're 14, 15, 16, 17, that's the last thing you want to take. You know, you don't want to take medications for the rest of your life, but looking at the real side of it, back in the late 80s, early 90s, people were dying. There was only one drug that was AZT. AZT was a cancer drug, so it didn't help you with the HIV. People were taking, some doctors had the clients taking handfuls of AZT, which made them sick, gave them diarrhea, they were vomiting, so they decided, I'm not gonna take this, I'll die first. Well, the medication has changed over the years. It went from AZT to Crixivan to Comavir, Trizavir, and then we have this little pill that you would call a triplet, 3 drugs in 1 pill. So therefore the medication has really changed throughout the years, and you have longevity. You can live for a long time. Now, so far as having children, you can still have children. If anybody in here is a millionaire, would you raise your hand? No millionaires? Oh, well. They have a thing, they have a actual sperm washing, where the sperm could be washed and cleansed of that virus, and you can still have a healthy child. Now the other deal is, they could actually, if I were positive and you're negative, you can be on the same medication I'm on, and we can still have sex, and the baby can come out negative. Which is a good thing, because like I said before, there was no hope. There was no hope. So anytime, and going back to thinking about a person being positive, because we never know in our lives what may happen to us. You know, you may just go and get tested and they say, oh, you're positive. It's not the end of the world. You're not gonna die. As long as you take your medication, everything will be fine. But one thing you have to do is still protect yourself. Because, just because you're positive doesn't mean that, oh, I can go out there and have sex and do the chunky monkey and just have sex with everybody, because one thing you can do is reinfect yourself. And you can get sicker. So that is one thing that you have to do. You have to protect yourself. I don't care what, even if, you know, you think, oh, well, this person is positive, I'm positive. What's the harm? Still protect yourself. So with that, any questions? Anybody have any questions? Come on, don't be shy now. Come on, come on, come on. I know you have plenty of questions. Come on. Don't be scared. Oh, she has one. She's looking up there. She's looking at the... Now, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. But other than that, that's my spiel.
So you were saying, like, if a man is positive and he's on medications, the female, if she's negative, she would have to be on them same medications?
If they want to have children.
Okay.
If they want to have children. If they want to have children, then she can be on medication, and she can actually, they can have sex, and she can have a baby, and they'll test the baby. I think it's the first, is it, Mark, is it 3 months? I think it's the first 3 months, and then it's the next 3 months. I believe it's maybe up to a year or 6 months where they'll continue to test that child to make sure that child is negative. So. Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll get to you, I'm sorry.
So are you saying that even though the guy's positive and the girl's negative, and she's taking his medication, she won't get HIV either?
She's taking whatever the doctor puts her on, and I believe they put her on the same medication that he's on. She will not be infected because of being on that medication.
Okay.
So, go ahead, dear.
No, I was the same question.
Yeah.
Does that work vice versa? If the female's on medication and the male's negative, and they put the male on the medication?
So if the female is positive, and then the male is negative.
And will the medication work vice versa?
Well, it would be vice versa, because it'd be the same thing. The child would come here negative because they're on medication, and that would keep the child from being infected. Yes,
well, what's like the percentage like on that? Because they always say, you know, the only way to be 100% sure that you're not going to get HIV is to abstain. So if two people are having sex with one person being, even with him being on medication, even the risk would be, you know, lowered.
You know what, I don't know, but I will check on that and I'll surely get back with you.
I have a little bit of information that we can piece together on that.
Okay, okay.
Always remember that the only 100% way of not contracting an STD or HIV is to abstain.
Right.
Everything is a risk, okay? If not abstaining, then you still gonna run that risk even when you're putting on that condom, okay? Because condoms greatly reduce the risk. It's those key words, greatly reduce the risk.
And another thing too, you can be co-infected too. Remember, you can have HIV and you can have herpes, or you can have HIV and Hep C. So that's two things again. That's two strikes. So you have to think about protecting yourself. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Quick question. So, are you the one that usually tells them if they have HIV, like if they get tested at the clinic, like a 15-minute test, or do they come to you after they've already found out they have it for like?
Well, in my old job, I would come down and talk to them after they were told they were positive.
I'm the bearer of the bad news.
She's the bearer where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever we test someone and it does come back positive, unfortunately, I am the one that has to tell them that.
Like for young kids, like what's the usual reaction? Is it like
they're shocked at first. They're shocked. They're in disbelief. The test is wrong. You know, these are the things that go through their mind. You know, it's got to be something wrong. I need to retest. You know, my life is over. I mean, they go through all of this within 5 minutes, and they're not hearing a word I'm saying. Okay, once you give an initial, your test is positive, that's all that person hears. They don't hear anything else for quite a few minutes because they're processing. They're processing.
Now, Nora, in my experience, some of the guys that I had, they weren't shocked because of their behavior.
Yeah. And then you get those that
they were like, oh, okay, whatever.
Those are the ones that's been doing the chunky monkey all over and haven't used any protection.
Yes.
Because some people do know if they come in and they've had high risk behavior, all just doing some of everything. You know, there's a great chance that test may come back positive.
Right.
And then you get those people that also that had lots of high risk activity to come in and get a test, and they come out negative. So, you know, it just depends. It just depends.
How often do you see a false preliminary positive?
I've never seen a false preliminary positive.
Okay.
Personally, I've never seen a false. Our tests are pretty accurate. We always have to say preliminary positive instead of just telling that person to be positive because we have to follow it up with that confirmatory. You have to follow it up with that other test to get that firm positive. But I've never seen personally a false positive. I'm sure back in the early days they may have had some that I've heard of people taking AZT for years and they really weren't positive. You know, yeah, that could be a real bummer. And they find out, you know, after they're 12 feet under that they really weren't positive. But I've never seen a false with today's test. The way our tests are sensitive,